Okay, welcome into High Valley Sports Online, Barons Basketball, Joe Wallace Coaches Show. This is our final edition, closing out an outstanding year by the Barons. We're here at McCarthy's Irish Pub on University Boulevard in Steubenville, Ohio, with Chris McCarthy and Coach Joe Wallace. Got a big St. Patrick's Day menu and weekend coming up. We're going to let Chris talk about that a little bit. Live entertainment, come on down. We got things going on all weekend, starting Friday through Monday here at McCarthy's Irish Pub. I want to welcome in Chris. Thank you for sponsoring and being our host throughout the year, Chris. You're great to us. We really appreciate it, whether it's the football season and then Baron basketball. We really appreciate what you've done, and welcome to the show. Let us know what you got going on this week.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. First off, it's been great having you guys. I was telling you, I think the other day, that I didn't really know, like when I first bought the restaurant, we were trying to connect, and I was just so busy getting my hands around everything. And it was like the last thing on my mind because I didn't know what it was, really. I'm really glad that we ended up moving forward with it because it's been great to have you guys. And, so thank you so much for all that you guys have done for us. But yeah, so this weekend I have live music Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, pretty much all day on Monday. Starting at 6 o'clock Friday. We have Irish food specials, corned beef and cabbage, bangers and mash, Guinness stew, cottage pie, Reuben. We got a Reuben burger. Mel's whipped up some bread pudding and some really good desserts. So
yeah, she told us that all the desserts were house made, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, everything dessert wise is scratch. Mel's recipes. She's a genius back there with that stuff. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to a really busy weekend, and a little nervous about my first St. Patrick's Day here, but I'm sure it'll be great.
Shoot, the weather's cooperating, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely. I got a big tent outside.
Yeah, I got a tent coming in just in case, because I think Sunday's supposed to be rainy, but we'll have music out there, and it'll be tenant with doors and all. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Chris, let's touch on the fact of which is a great connection. I mean, your relationship with the university as far as Baron basketball goes, and then get the host. You serve as our host for Baron basketball. Let's talk about your connection a little bit with the university and Steubenville.
Sure. So, I attended Franciscan way back when, and it's kind of funny to see where the program's at now as compared to when I was here. Joe and his team have done a great job putting together like a really respectable program. And I told Tim Delaney the first game I went to this season, I said, this is like a national championship team, man. This is great. I used to play pickup ball with the team back when I went here. I couldn't even, sniff the court with these guys. But it's been really awesome to become a huge fan of the team. I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, and I'm from Philadelphia.
We won't hold that again.
Yeah, I'm happy for you guys here. But, all my sports teams, they come from Philadelphia, and so coming out here, having really competitive basketball and being friends with the guys, Joe and Sean and Adam, getting them to come back after games and go through the game with us,
definitely.
and letting me pick their brains a little bit. It's been awesome. It's been a real pleasure.
How about Tim Delaney? How much has he hindered your movement?
So, Tim kind of showed me the ropes early on. He was really pivotal in helping me learn everyone's names. But no, Tim's awesome.
He got us the Jimmy John sponsorship.
Yeah. Tim's a great friend of the program. Invaluable.
Invaluable. That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah. Joe, Coach Wallace, your real job is community relations at the university, and you have these sponsorships, and they all seem to be, the relationships that you built. You've always been able to come back to the base of, a lot of your sponsors have a university connection, to begin with, and then you make
definitely.
new connections.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, we always talk about this, that's what makes Steubenville, Jefferson County, this area special, is that we all try to work together. We all try to help each other out with whatever's happening. That's what it's about. Relationships, are personal. They're handshake deals around here, and that's the way it goes. And that's why we love it.
Well, you know what? I think the handshake deals. You're bringing me back to my closest friend who passed away a couple years ago, Frank Colella. We appreciate your
Yep.
support
Yes.
in his golf tournament, and that was something that in the scholarships that we gave out, that we're giving out, to the area high schools. We put that in his bio. He was a handshake deal type
Yeah.
of guy,
Yep.
and he was a multimillionaire as far as businesses goes, and
Yeah.
all the deals that he did was a handshake. And I think that says a lot about the community that we're living in and raising our kids in.
Absolutely. It sure does, because it's not like that everywhere. And yeah, we're fortunate to be here. We're fortunate that the university, what's happening in Steubenville work together, and that's the way it's got to be. It's got to be that
Well,
way.
you talk about the community involvement here. You got something coming up April 10th with
Yes.
the Barron Club dinner,
Yes.
and that's all based on community
Yes,
and its
it is.
success. Let's talk about that a little
Yeah.
bit.
So again, April 10th, we have Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, coming to town to speak, and it's a lot of work to get a sitting NFL head coach to come here, with his schedule, and we had a lot of people behind the scenes to really help with that, and to be able to bring someone like that to Steubenville is awesome for the town. But it goes back to, like you said, I mean, the community support for this event, and it really is this community dinner, and we're honoring Tom and Sarah Gentile and their family and what they've done, for this community throughout all the years, and their help at the university. And then Leo Lanigan and his I mean, countless years of service to Steubenville Central. I mean, those are two people in different realms that have done a lot for this area, and that's what that's about too, is honoring people in this community that have done so much, and that's what this dinner has been about. And then bringing in a pretty prominent speaker every year to be able to entertain as well. So
I think it goes hand in hand with the mission of the university, because the growth that is happening in this city is due to guys like Chris McCarthy, who
Yeah.
comes
Oh,
back
definitely.
and sets up shop here,
Yeah.
and that's the growth that's going on in the city and the county. And I believe it's directly related to the university. So, and you've done things in basketball that I've told you 100 times. I can't believe the involvement that you have with the university. That is, other than having a great season this year,
Yeah.
your biggest hurdle, I think, was getting the community
Yeah,
involved
definitely.
and making Barron's basketball something interesting. And for Ohio Valley Sports Online, in our 5-6 year relationship
Mhm.
that we have with you, to see the actual growth of your program and the community.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we could never dream of the
No.
seats all around the gym,
Yeah, heck yeah.
filled up, and the things that you've done. So, I mean, that's success.
That is success. You got to look at all those things when you take a step back from the season and what we're accomplishing. But we talked about this many times, and you brought it up. Like, you talk about the stories of 1960s, 70s, like 58, like the old College of Steubenville days, and what that team meant to the community, and that's what we're trying to
Absolutely.
push again right now, and that's what it's about, and that's what makes it special, right? Having a basketball program in this town, college basketball program that people can jump on board with. Yeah.
Well, staying on the fact of the community relations, I mean, just with the Barron's dinner, the Barron's Club dinner that
Yeah.
you do, and those smokers,
Oh, the smokers.
those cigar smokers
Yes.
that you have, the involvement there when you get 80 to 90 people coming in and enjoying that company.
Heck
And
yeah.
I think Chris McCarthy is sitting on a gold mine here. He's gonna end up in your tax bracket, just because I believe that the university, this I don't think this whole green strip has a chance of failing,
No,
because
there's
of the university
no doubt.
gets involved and supports it, and the community relations. Like when I came in the other night and had a cocktail at the bar, I mean, got to sit with Chris a little bit. I mean, it was a great thing to see the place filled, and doing that, Chris. And I think you could enjoy that.
Yeah, well, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely love it when we're packed.
Yeah.
But to see,
Because, excuse me, because this is a fickle business, this
Oh, yeah.
restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
you could be packed one night and empty the next. It's crazy.
yeah, it's great to see like you're saying, the community taking part. For me, I watched this whole season. I was at every single home game except for one when I was visiting back in Philly, Waynesburg at home.
Yep.
But to see at Washington Jefferson, our playoff game, there was like 60, 70 people there that traveled to this. And it wasn't all Franciscan. Like there was a lot of people that were just, I mean, it was awesome. It was really cool. We caravaned down there.
Yep.
We had a group of like 12 that went, but it's just great to see. I mean, and it is, it as great as Franciscan is, we need the community as well. Obviously, you know, and it's great to see those two things, you know, collide and mesh well.
Mm-hmm.
That's the joy of it, in my opinion. The joy of it is to see the impact because, you know, I beat a dead horse, you know, with Joe all the time, going back to my youth and what it meant to us as junior high and high school kids to go into the arena and see 1,500, you know, university kids coming in, banging their drum to watch the Barons, you know, at St. John Arena. And that emotionally, that means a lot to me to see what's happening at Finnegan Fieldhouse and the Barons, the community involvement, and what's it called, Joe? The Club 58.
Yeah,
you know what that's done, and to see like my friend Paul Carpellotti and his family, and Tommy Gentile, and and Angelo Georges, and Dude Kessler, and seeing all these university people giving back to the success, you know, that everybody, and this isn't Johnny come lately. These are people that have been behind the Barons from the beginning. And now, you know, we're enjoying the fruits of Joe Wallace, you know, finally getting some people that can allow the Barons, getting some players that allow the Barons to compete in a very, very, very tough conference. I mean, it's a joy for a basketball and a Steubenville guy like me.
Yeah, and you know, and we say this. I mean, it's taken a lot of people, right? It's taken a lot of people from your guys' partnership. I mean, it's just, and I'm forever grateful for, you know, the hands that help push the boulder up the mountain right now.
There you go.
Know, and our staff. I mean, I'm blessed with great men. You know, Adam Martello, Sean Kirk, Mike Renato, John Pizzuti. Like we just have guys that just believe in it, that put a lot of time into it, and you know, do a lot for our players, and that's what it's about. It is. It's a true family that we're establishing, even with the community. Like we want them to be a part of the family that we're trying to provide. You know, so it's a lot, but it's great though. It is very special right now.
How about some of the accolades too? We got first team all conference Sawyer.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
honorable mention Josh for the second time.
Yeah,
assistant coach of the year.
Yeah, Adam Martello, assistant coach of the year. I mean Sawyer Butler. I mean the season he had to be finally. You know, we've always felt what Sawyer was at, right? It was good to see everybody else, you know, appreciate what Sawyer has not only done, but what he's doing for our program. I mean, the first team all conference in this league is hard to do because there's a lot of good players, a lot of good teams. And, I mean, Sawyer is us to a T. I mean, that kid is, I mean, he's got some flash to his game, but he is a tough kid.
Yeah, both sides of the court.
Both sides of the court. And Josh has been, you know, the staple of everything in a way. I mean, he really has been. I mean, Josh comes here, you know, 30 years ago or whatever it's been from Big Red. No, I'm joking. But
he's a 9-year veteran.
But Josh was the first, right? We got to talk about that. Josh was the first to really take the chance, to really believe in like what we were trying to do here, you know, from right down the street. And Josh flourished. He had his career. I mean, he's you know, his name is in just about every category. You know, of anything, leading, whatever. I mean, second leading scorer all time. I mean, it's just
most games played.
Assist leader, right?
Assist leader, steals leader. I mean, he's in the, you know, I think he's finishing number 2 in rebound. I mean, it's just unbelievable what Josh has accomplished, and he's the most unselfish kid, and just carried the flag for making this an option for a lot of kids, you know, nearby. You know, for him, because the year that Steubenville Big Red had this year, I mean, then you go all the way back to his senior year was the last year they made kind of like a run into the regionals like that. And for a kid like that to jump on board was massive, you know. But, yeah, forever grateful for this, for what Josh has done.
All right, we're going to talk more basketball and personnel. This is Ohio Valley Sports Online. We're kicking off St. Patty's Day weekend here at McCarthy's Irish Pub on University Boulevard. Stop in, live entertainment every night, homemade desserts. You'll have a fun time here. A lot of green beer, probably. All right. So there's going to be tenant outside. We got green beer coming. Or I just take a guess. Okay.
A lot of Guinness.
You guys gonna say Guinness?
All right, we'll be right back here with our second segment of Joe Wallace Barons Basketball. This is our final show here. Thanks for watching in. We'll be right back. I told her I'm going to eat afterward.
Okay.
All right, we're back here at McCarthy's Irish Pub on University Boulevard, right at the foot of Franciscan University. Joe Wallace and the owner of the Harp and the Habit, McCarthy's Irish Pub, Chris McCarthy. We're going to continue to talk a little bit about the season, Joe. You know, you had a great year, 16 wins, playoff contention, got invited to a tournament.
Yep.
Give us everything we know. You know, we talked about Josh Zimmerman.
Yeah.
I can remember talking back, you know, I told Josh on air, Josh, you carried the flag
Yeah, he sure did.
for Steubenville High School in the city of Steubenville. He held up his end of the bargain.
He did.
And so did the Barons.
Yep.
Let's talk about Barons basketball, you know, and anything you could tell us moving forward. You know, it's your show. Let's go.
I mean, one thing about this group this year, I mean, we were as resilient, tough, together, all those things, and you know, we were able to, you know, just kind of outwill teams down the stretch in a lot of these close games we won, and you know, the season is just freshly over, so it's really tough to, you know, give that a whole like 30,000 view of everything. But it was a successful year. We took a big step in this league, but I mean, the sky's still the limit. I'm not going to say. I mean, we have a really good young nucleus coming back and trying to add to that. I mean, I feel really, you know, about the future. But this past year and what our seniors did, Josh, Nick Alianello, Jan Yanku, and Derek Darrow, I mean, those guys were leaders, and they kind of set the stage of all the intangibles of what this program's about. And those guys did a great job of, you know, they had their roles kind of changed a little bit. Josh's didn't, but the rest of that crew kind of did, just based off of having more talent to put, you know, younger talent into the program. But just really proud of that. And yeah, we talked about the W&J game in the PAC tournament. I mean, it was a heck of a game. A game we really should have won, in my opinion. I haven't really said that too much. I mean, we just had some IQ issues down the stretch offensively that were tough. We didn't make the right decisions. We turned the ball over in like crucial moments. And yeah, I mean, I felt like our game plan, the way the guys are executing it early, you know, W&J wanted that game to be a track meet. They pressed us, and our guards really did a nice job handling that. But we just did not make good decisions down the stretch, so it was disappointing. But then we found out that we were invited to the ECAC tournament, which is like, you know, like an NIT for, you know, Eastern Division III teams, and the draw we got was Virginia Wesleyan out of Norfolk, Virginia, and that is a program that is what we're striving to become. I mean, that's a national program. They've won a national championship. Their coach has been there for like 26 years, like 500 wins. You know, and a down year for them is like 19, 18 wins. You know, and they play in the Ohio Dominican, or the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, which is the best basketball Division III conference in the country. It is a massive, like, resources are put into those programs, and winning at a high level is a premium. And that league got 4 teams into the NCAA tournament, which is unheard of in Division III. So for us to go against them was really good. It wasn't what we wanted, but they took any kind of things that like we had as strengths in our team this year. They had it to another level, and it's something that our guys returning can really look at. You know, we have to get better in certain areas. That's the truth. Yeah.
Well, you know, like, you know, speaking on that, I mean, in my 21 years of coaching, I mean, it was I mean, we can't fool nobody. I mean, you need talent to win.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you're not going to do it with mirrors.
Nope.
And the thing that I'm most impressed with was maybe 3 years ago, there were some jobs that opened up that I text you right away,
Yeah.
and I said, Joe, you got to go after this
Yeah.
job. I
Yeah.
mean, because I thought that I believed that you couldn't get, and I've told you to your
Yeah.
face, you couldn't get to where you're at now. I
Yeah.
said, Joe, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Too much work to do.
Yeah.
And I thought, because of my love for you, I wanted you to leave. And you told me dead to my face, Raymond, my job's not done here. So you believed
Yeah.
in
Heck yeah.
you believed in your mission, which a head coach has to do.
Yeah.
But the thing, Joe, is you sold it. You sold it to the recruits. You sold it to your staff. You sold it to the university, and you got talent. And you convinced kids that can play basketball, like the Sawyer Butlers, like the transfer and Travis Zimmerman, and even this Vovo, who I believe is going to be a player for you. I don't,
No, he is.
if I want to second guess you, which
No, you can. Yeah,
I
you
promise.
can. I think a lot of
promise
people have
I
on that
never
one.
did. I promise. After
Yeah.
I said you got a bad matchup,
Oh yeah.
and Carl stole the ball and
Yeah.
laid it.
Yeah.
I said on air, I'll never second guess Joe Wallace again.
Mhm.
But you're continuing to sell your mission.
Yep.
And that's the key.
That's the key.
You're getting kids to buy in and believe in it, and that's going to be the key in the future. You can have the community support,
Yep.
but getting kids to come here that can play, because I say it over and over again, the talent of this conference knocked me back,
Yep.
and I was ignorant to the fact because of my association in this area
Yeah.
in basketball for so many years. I never saw it week in and week out, and you got to be able to play to compete in this conference.
Yeah.
So selling these kids
Yeah.
to come here was I think your biggest accomplishment.
Yeah, and it took, in selling it was part of it, but it was like we established what it's about here, and we do things a lot differently. I think we talked about that than maybe other places. Like we're not going to we don't use our guys. Like we don't. It's not a transactional relationship here. It's going to be our goal is we're going to pour into you on and off the court. We're going to I mean we talk about hard coaching. You're going to get your butt kicked in practice and stuff like that. But it's all love. It's constantly love, and people can see what's real and what's fake. And what kids were seeing was, even though we weren't winning at that level yet, but they could see like the kind of people we had in on board, like with our assistant coaches who are all in with it, and the players that we have. And that's why I was extremely loyal to our seniors, because they 100% of not only understood what this culture is about, and there's other guys that have been through here, but they carried, like you said with Josh, carried the flag of like, this is going to be a little different than maybe if you go somewhere else, and what the university is about too. Like it's a whole well-rounded approach we take for these kids, and their families understand that. And because it's like, I mean, it's like a 4-year investment that you're going to put in on yourself for the rest of your life. And we're really about that. It's not smoke, and it's a lot of work, but our kids understand that, we're not just going to use you for basketball at all. Like we're going to use this basketball piece as an avenue for your future. And yeah,
Josh getting involved with Cedar One Group.
Yep.
And Joe Aquino, you got people like that want to help these kids moving forward in life.
I'm just going to say, like our guys in our program, right? I mean, we had this past year, we had almost a 3.4 GPA at Franciscan. I mean, shoot. I mean, I couldn't probably gotten into Franciscan back in the day. I mean,
It was a lot more lax back when I went here.
But
I appreciate you saying that. You make me feel at home.
But like it's not easy. Like the classes are tough, right? And we add not only that, but there's a toughness factor to our guys. And like I'll say this to anybody, like you want to hire like whatever field these guys are coming out of, you're gonna have a kid that's gonna be extremely loyal to your culture, your business, or whatever field you're in. They're gonna be very detailed, disciplined. They're gonna be extremely tough too. And having tough-minded people in any profession is what it's about. I'll sell our guys to anybody. You want to hire one of our guys, you're going to get a great employee, a great addition to whatever field you're in. And I have no problem, putting my name on the line for any of them. I'll do that to
Well,
them. Yeah.
like I tell you, we complimented you on the last show when we had the brains of the outfit, Timmy Delaney, with us.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just in the fact of the four seniors where
Yeah.
I brought it
Oh,
up,
yeah.
where those four seniors, they had to take a back seat
Yeah, they
to
did.
the younger talent that you were bringing in.
Yep.
And I thought that shows a lot of character because seniors that are unhappy are a cancer in the locker
can be.
room.
They
And
can be. You're right.
and
Yeah.
and you kept them involved, and we talked about that up in the box, off air of like, wow, how's Derek Darrow going to deal with this and Alianello, and they came through like champs. I mean, they stood by you and the program.
They did. They did. And that shows who they're.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not easy to do. But the one thing is that there's a lot of loyalty in this program. I think you can probably feel that. And I'm a loyal. And I think people maybe second guess my loyalties at times, but I don't care because it's what it's about. I mean, like I just said, like I know these guys. I know what they're about because they're challenged constantly in practice. They're challenged with all the things they do. And when you're challenged and you keep responding to things, it shows me what's in here. And to me, like, we're built off of that. Intangibles are what our program has been about. And I know we're more talented now, but if you don't have it in here, you're not making it with us. This is the truth, and that's why we have to find the right guys. So I've seen in and out daily of like what those dudes are about. So man, like I will do whatever I can for any of them. You make it with us 4 years, 5 years, you're showing us that you're not. Yeah, you're about more than yourself at the end of the day, and that's what whatever field those guys want to get into. I mean, I will beat down the door to get those guys in there. So
You got 16 wins this year, Joe. That's the most in the Barron program in a long, long time. I want to congratulate you on that. What do we got to look forward to, Joe?
what do we have to look forward to?
As far as your possibilities? I know you told me about you have. What did you say before we went on the air? You got less games, 16 compared to 20 and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the conference, we're adding Hiram. Yeah, so Hiram's joined the league, so we're going to go to a North and South next year. So it's good. It's good and bad. So we were at 20 out of 25 games we're in conference, which is an absolute grind. You're playing everybody twice. It's a grind.
Yeah.
Because conference games mean so much more, and like the way we prep, all that stuff, and everybody knows each other very well. So we're going from 20 to 16, and then we're going to North and South. So we're going to be in the South Division now in the PAC, which will play all those schools twice. So it's a tough draw. It's the better side. So Chatham, St. Vincent, W&J, us, Bethany, and Waynesburg are all going to be in the South. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be the tough, but it all kind of balances.
So is that its own conference, or somebody from each side?
So they're expanding the playoffs now to 8 teams. So the top 4 out of each make it, and I mean it's still going to be a meat grinder of what it is, but it's dropping to 16. So there's more flexibility in non-conference. We're going to play in a cup. We're going to tip off this season in Oberlin in their tip-off tournament. I don't even remember who the other teams are in it yet. Then we'll have a couple home games. We're adding Penn State Barron and Penn State Altoona from our old league to the schedule from the AMCC days, and they're both pretty good programs in that league. We're going to go to Juniata right after Christmas. Capital University is going to be coming here as well, and there's some other things we're still trying to work on with things we were talking about. There's things that we like playing a game at the Crimson Center is something we still want to do. Trying to figure out how that pieces in. The Classic that we had this past year, which was great. We're trying to figure that out, and there's a possibility of other things too that we're trying to do in the area, and that's what it's like. I mean, we've done something like a lot of things outside the box with these games, so we got to kind of figure out how that all pieces together. So, what do you got for that?
Man, that's going to be a tough schedule next year.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be tough.
I mean, the thing that was the craziest thing to me was no one wanted to play the Barons this year.
No.
It was a tough draw in the playoffs for W&J, and to be honest, I thought we were going to win that game. We were giving it to them. It's whether it was Chatham or St. Vincent, none of them wanted to play this team. You're anything but soft.
No.
So,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anybody can. That's the biggest compliment we'll take from anybody.
Well,
Yeah.
the biggest. Trying to think of a word here, but the biggest thing that I saw that aggravated me the most
Yeah.
was the fact of Sawyer Butler got no respect.
Oh, that's
He
a
got.
story
I
we
mean,
can talk
Sawyer
about.
Butler got no respect in the fact of he got respect on the accolades.
Yeah, he did.
But I don't think the referees gave him any respect because for him to be the kind of player that he was, I mean, he got to get to the foul line more. I mean, and they didn't give him that, and I'm thinking maybe the referees aren't sold on Barons because the guy got killed.
Oh,
I mean,
he got
in
beat
my
up this
opinion,
year.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he did.
he got killed, and I said it many times
Yeah, he
on
did.
the air is he got to get that foul.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
that's the next thing that coming. Hopefully, he will next year because of his 2 year play in the conference
Yes.
has been phenomenal, and he's a basketball player, to the hilt,
Yeah,
and that has to improve. What can you? I mean,
Yeah.
did you ever relate any of those
Oh,
feelings to the referees?
yes.
Like the kid deserves better.
I would try to before the game, the officials are in their locker room. I would go in there and talk to them about it, and you know, I felt there was maybe a little bit of a change as we got into late January, but not to the degree that he earned. You get to earn that, right? And he's earned it now.
I think he has.
Yeah, I think he has, and the other thing is we have to protect him more too. Put him in better situations for him to be successful. Yeah, and then putting pieces around him that can push more up. Especially on the offense end next year.
I'll tell you this: me and Delaney did our part to make sure he was getting those calls.
Yeah.
Well,
we can hear it. Yeah, we can hear
We
it.
lost our voices. Father Dave looking at me from across the court, like, man, tone it down.
Hey.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that has to do with the show, but that just popped into my mind when you talk about respect. I mean, that's one guy that deserves more. I mean, he has. I mean, he has been. Oh, here he comes now, Timmy Delaney. We're gonna have to add another segment to Tim Delaney. So with that, we'll be right back with our Tim Delaney section of the Joe Wallace Barons Basketball Final Coaches Show. This is Ray Sucklitz along with Joe Wallace and Chris McCarthy of McCarthy's Irish Pub here on University Boulevard with a big St. Patty's weekend coming up. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here. We replaced one Irishman with another, and Tim Delaney. I want to welcome him into the show, Director of Basketball Operations.
Vice President.
Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's an honorary title.
I'm sorry. So we're here with Tim Delaney, and Tim, we've been talking about the community relations, the growth of Barons basketball, which you've been here to witness all of it,
Yeah, absolutely.
community-wise and basketball.
Oh, absolutely. It's fun walking around town and have people recognize Franciscan basketball, and that's a big credit to Coach Wallace. Big credit to our players. Big credit to OVSO.
Yes.
You guys have given us a face in the valley. That's for sure.
Well, I think the most part, everybody has seen the growth. in the involvement. It's one thing, for Joe Wallace and Timmy Delaney and staff to go out into the sales and execs clubs and talk
Yeah.
about the Barons basketball, and everybody just looks at you like, yeah, yeah, so what? But
Yeah.
now, when
Yeah.
you talk about Baron basketball, you can feel the excitement from everybody because you have won, and everybody has witnessed the growth of the program
Yeah.
in so many ways. And want to thank Chris McCarthy for
Absolutely.
his supporting everything
Yeah.
that we've done here from the
Definitely.
beginning.
Definitely.
Yeah, you
Definitely.
got to win to be recognized. Right?
Oh, you have
Absolutely.
to win.
Yeah.
And the 16 wins have made people stand up and recognize, that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a credit to all the work that you guys have done,
Yeah.
behind the scenes to try and make Baron basketball something important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's so exciting to have, losing 4 seniors, but what we got coming back. It's going to be a great, great season next year. Can't wait for another season of Baron basketball.
It's going to be here soon.
Yeah, it is. Off-season workouts, no days off, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's no rest. I mean,
No,
I
there's
think
not.
Yeah.
success builds expectations.
Yes, it does.
And that's a good thing.
It's a great
and,
thing.
And Joe, you could talk about that, touch on that, as well as, like we say, the Baron Club dinner coming up with Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's a massive deal. You want to hit on that again?
Oh,
I
yeah.
talked about it earlier, but go ahead.
Yeah, how many places get a sitting NFL coach to come visit? Definitely not in a town, the size of Steubenville, Ohio. So, man, we are blessed.
Yes,
Bob
we
Hickey
are.
actually got that hooked up. He and Kevin had got to know each other when Bob lived in Cleveland.
Yep.
And so Stefanski coming in is just a great coup for us.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And he's fun. He's funny.
He is.
He's going to have people are going to enjoy him.
Oh, they're going to have a
Even
great
the
time.
Steeler
in it.
fans.
Yeah, the Steeler fans are going to have a great time.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but
No, you will. Trust me. Yeah, you will.
But my thing on that is there's always great anticipation for this Barons Club dinner, and it has grown over the years. But there's always been well attended as well.
Oh,
Yeah, one of the coolest things I heard about the Baron Club dinner was super agent Mike Simon.
Super easy. Yeah.
Absolute best. He's on our board of advisors or community relations board. Just an outstanding guy. I heard him tell someone that the Lou Holtz Hall of Fame dinner used to be the signature event of the Valley, and that the Baron Club has taken its place. Lou Holtz they don't do the dinner anymore, but
Yeah.
to have him say that about us,
Oh,
made my day.
Yep.
Well, it sure has. Mike Simon, good man, good friend of Ohio Valley Sports Online.
Yeah.
And Ohio Valley Sports Online has enjoyed every minute of our relationship with the University
Yes.
of Barron
absolutely.
basketball.
You
Absolutely.
know that it goes both ways. We really, because you guys jumped on board when, like we talked about, when we were still trying to keep taking these little steps, and it's meant a lot to us because you guys have this reach and what you've done for high school athletics in this area to be able to cover them and make them, all these events feel special, and the way you guys do it is first class, and then for us to be involved with it has just been massive. It really has been, and we really appreciate you guys, taking a chance with us. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
the best thing about Ohio Valley Sports Online is we have come to realize that everybody wants to be loved and everybody likes to be recognized,
Yes.
whether it's parents, players, or just fans. I mean, it's just with the people calling in and hitting the website
Yeah.
during a game, wanting to be recognized, and we love the community involvement. I mean, it takes everybody to be successful.
Absolutely.
How would you, you guys have done this for a little while. How would you rank Tim Delaney jumping in on,
Well, I know one thing right now. He's my, Joe. You're my number one go-to guy, but Tim Delaney is He's pressing for airtime, man. He is right there, man. So that gives me the luxury, even though we are taking on different clients, but it gives me the luxury of knowing that I can miss that Baron game and come in with a top-notch color, man.
Yeah.
And Tim Delaney, he adds so much to the broadcast.
Hey, you get to go watch Lucy Joe.
Lucy Joe. That's my
Honorable
girl.
mention All Eastern District as a freshman.
That's
I
my
saw that.
girl,
Massive.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about let's hit on that after that, like the basketball, this year in this town.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, I got a phone call from my brother Reno whenever I said, yeah, just like Joe Wallace says, Steubenville is a basketball town with Big Red with 20 wins and Central with 20 wins and both more. And then the Barons stepping up and getting 16 wins and making a run at the end and getting invited to tournaments Reno says don't get carried away.
I figured he would.
He said, don't get carried away with
That
yourself.
was a little joke for everybody, but it was good. It was a great year for basketball in this town on both sides. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome because we all know it hasn't been a basketball town, but hey, this
Well,
year
yeah, but you got to stand up and recognize
Yes,
the
you do.
success.
Mhm.
You know, and we're just happy to be part of that. You know, we go up and down the valley and see a lot of kids and a lot of families, and we appreciate the support. But we don't appreciate anybody more than we appreciate Chris McCarthy and McCarthy's Irish Pub, what they've done throughout the years.
Yeah.
You know, just supporting our football coaches show, and now getting right behind our Barons basketball. You know, we appreciate that, and that just shows you the type of people that we have here in Steubenville.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the Ohio Valley, man, they got to come out this weekend.
well, that's what I was
St.
just gonna
Patrick's
say.
weekend.
I mean, I'm looking at this lineup this weekend.
This
There's
is
a
like
live
Christmas
music.
at an Irish bar.
Oh, this is going to be unbelievable.
Friday, live entertainment 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Chris Hannigan on Friday. Saturday, Jamie Krupka. On Sunday, Brad Wagner. And on Monday, Wicked Biscuit with Sean Villamagna and Murphy Gibbons. Got tents coming outside. Going to be a
beautiful.
great weekend. You can see it right there on the screen. Danny Vogel holding it up for you. We're looking forward to a big weekend. That's going to be it from here. I want to thank everybody for following Barons basketball in this coaches show all year. We'll be back as soon as we can, as soon as baseball season and softball season kicks up. We'll be back on the air, but thanks for your support. For Tim Delaney, Chris McCarthy, Danny Vogel, and Joe Wallace, this is Ray Suckart saying thank you, and we'll see you baseball season. Bye-bye.